In stage 1 you use some thinner willow charcoal, and today you will be using some thicker sticks which are approximately 7 to 9 millimeters in thickness. You will also be using some compressed charcoal which will give you a very dark mark. First take your slightly thicker willow charcoal, and I'd like you to draw some boxes on the side of your paper or some scrap paper, starting dark and then going to light. Do about 4 different shades of these. Then take a blending stump, and using circular motions I would like you to blend your boxes. This will soften and slightly lighten your charcoal. It will also give you smoother transitions between your different tones. Afterwards, take your rubber and draw a line, maybe 1 or 2 lines, down the middle of your scale box so you can see all the different ranges of tone that you can achieve with your charcoal and by rubbing out afterwards. Do the same thing with your compressed charcoal stick. You'll have noticed in my demonstration that I have been continuously wiping off the extra charcoal on my blending stump on the side of my paper. This is because I don't want it to build up and spread unnecessary charcoal as to make my lighter tones darker. The other thing that's quite nice with this is that you could start to actually apply little details and draw with the excess charcoal on your blending stump. After your experimentation with the 2 different types of charcoal, start on your drawing, and please start with the compressed charcoal, the darker one, and do all of your darkest areas of your photograph. Like how you did when you were doing your scale, you should also use the blending stump in your dark area to soften the charcoal and make for smoother transitions. Where you see areas of mid-tone coming straight off your darkest area, you can use your blending stump to drag some of that compressed charcoal into the right areas. When you do this, you should really think about the direction of the object that you are shading and try to follow that. Next, I'm using a rubber to really try to pull out the white areas in this particular object that I am shading. In this charcoal drawing, I really want you to play around with layering up your charcoal to make it darker where needed, but also remembering to pull away with your rubber in areas of lightness. At this point I felt the need for a slightly lighter charcoal, so I've changed from my compressed charcoal to my willow charcoal. I'm using the blending stump again for some softer transitions. It's also great for pushing around the charcoal to achieve a kind of mid-tone just using the charcoal that I've already got on my paper. And using the blending stump, the rubber and the charcoal, keep remembering to follow the direction of the object that you are shading. If you find you keep leaning on your work and smudging your charcoal with your hand, then get a piece of printing paper and rest it on your work so you can put your arm down on there without risking any smudging. I've switched over to my willow charcoal again, and I'm trying to get that kind of slightly lighter shade next to my really dark shade, and I'm using my charcoal in a really long, scratchy, directional way as to achieve some kind of texture that I can see in my photograph. Here I'm using a piece of paper and shading off the edge of it to try to achieve a sharper line with my compressed charcoal. Another way to achieve texture is to take a ripped edge of some cartridge paper and then again shade off of this ripped edge with your charcoal. You'll get a nice jagged line with this, and then you can use your blending stump to spread out the charcoal.